Howdy. You're here for me. You're Bob?
Yeah.
Is that it? Hey, I'm Scott.
Nice to meet you.
It's good to meet you, man. Appreciate you taking the time to get with me. So I've got a little bit of a situation here. By the way, I want you to be very, very, very clear about something. I am so pro law enforcement. It's crazy. When I see this stuff on TV and this defund the police, it's just insanity. I used to work extensively. You may not have even been here, but you know, Sheriff Harden.
Right, yeah.
I used to work extensively with him. He had a detective, Tom Nave. Jared was here. I worked with those guys because we got some bad apples up in Piney and stuff. And so I'm your advocate. And I don't want to become the adversary or you to be the adversary to me as your advocate. So that's why I'm here. And by the way, Jason Ritchie, when he took over, the first thing I did was I brought him a flat of strawberries. And I said, thank you for your... No, I'm just being honest with you because these lunatics who don't want police, it's crazy. And I think you should be able to defend yourself. You should have sovereign immunity. If you and I are just talking, if all of a sudden I start wrestling with you or putting my hands on, or we're on the ground fighting and I'm trying to take your taser or what, you need to protect yourself. And nobody's perfect but Jesus. And so if there's going to be an error, it needs to be an error in you protecting yourself against scumbags. So I wanted to share that as a backdrop, okay? Now, we see this crazy maniacal mandatory mask mandate all over, and I don't expect you to be a scientist. I've looked up on the research and stuff. I can see that the one that you're wearing doesn't even come close to form fitting and all that kind of stuff. You're just doing what you have to do, and I'm not here to knock you for it. But by the way, the side of the box that mask comes in flatly says that this does not protect against virus transmission, because here's a simple question, rhetorical, but I mean it seriously. Can a fishing net that has 3-inch wide holes trap a fish that's only 1 inch in diameter? That's kind of what we're up against. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I'm not here to beat you up. If you choose to do that, or if they force you and you have to, then whatever. I'm not going to do it. But I found out that this crazy mayor, who I didn't even know her name until I don't run in these circles unless I have to, and then I try to support people like Harden and Tom Nave and whatever. So anyway, so I called the mayor this morning, and Amy put me through to her, and I started off by saying, hey, my name is Scott Talbert, here's my telephone number. Very first thing I said to her, and I said, I understand that you're looking to impose a mandatory mask requirement, is that correct? Yes. I said, okay, well, by what authority? And I'm expecting to hear some law or ordinance or whatever the case may be, and you know what she said to me? Because I'm the mayor. Oh my gosh, you know, this is the total I'm God construct. I'm the boss of this town. I said, oh my gosh. I said, well, you know, I'm not really concerned about what your title is or what position or what your office or what job you have. I want to know what legal authority. I'm a lawyer by training, by the way. And she said, what's your name again? I said, well, I started the call. You know, my name's Scott Talbert, T-A-L. And she said, I can spell. I said, well, no, you can't. It's a proper name. And in fact, it's funny because when I went over there to visit, Sean didn't even know how to spell my name. So I wasn't being an a-hole. I was just trying to be polite. Anyway, she hangs up on me. Now understand, she's a public servant. She may not feel that way. She may feel like a goddess, but she works for me. Okay? I call back, I get a hold of some secretary, refused to give me her name. I call back, I eventually get through to Denise, who eventually reluctantly gave me her name, hung up on me. After being hung up on by 3 people, I show up in person. I speak with Sean, you may know who he is. He was a nice enough guy, I've seen him somewhere before, he can't really do anything, but they wouldn't let me in the building. So I spoke with him, and supposedly they're going to send me all this information. I said, well, where's this ordinance? I want to see the document because I'm going to the courthouse to get an injunction. But in the meantime, the cops show up. Well, that's interesting. I'm just some dude here to see my mayor. Right? She's a public servant. Freaking cops show up, which, I mean, I'm fine with, but that's a little bit weird, you know. I asked one of the police officers, Roberts was on his thing. I said, you know, who are you? Identify yourself. Refused. Refused. So I can't even deal with the mask issue because now I have to deal with the mayor's office poor etiquette of hanging up on me before we can get to the mask issue. Then I want to go to the police station and say, hey, what are you going to do about this? Because you only have sovereign immunity, which I think you should have, right? If you're doing your duties and things get a little bit sideways, again, nobody's perfect but Jesus. Things are going to go wrong, and I'd rather have it go wrong in your favor to keep you safe. You should have sovereign immunity, but if you step outside of your lawfully orchestrated, delineated duties, you can be sued in your personal capacity. You don't have sovereign immunity. So I wanted to ask Chad Smith, hey, what do you plan to do if she imposes a mask mandate? Because I'm not wearing one. We might get real acquainted here. How entangled in this are you going to get? But I couldn't even deal with that without first addressing the fact that one of his officers refused to identify himself. So I mean, it's just problems piled on problems. Anyway, so, and I appreciate your being super awesome and patient with me. I really appreciate that. So then I said, okay, fair enough. I'm going to go over to the courthouse at least and at least start an injunction. Now, the mayor wouldn't even give me a piece of paper or tell me what the so-called ordinance is or anything like that. So I said, all right, well, whatever. I'm going to go try to at least start the process of an injunction. Well, I run into one of your deputies, a Eubanks. You can't come in here. You can't come in here without a mask. Really? So here's the problem that we have. If you're going to require the mask, which is questionable legal authority to do that anyway, we at least need to know that it accomplishes the objective that you state is the purpose for it, right? And we can plainly see, dude, you got facial hair, which I'm down with. I'm all good with that. That thing doesn't fit, and it's porous. If it was made of plastic, you wouldn't be able to breathe. So we know this is a crock. So I asked Chad Smith, and he said, well, right now he didn't think the city council had ratified it or whatever, so we'll deal with it.
I haven't heard nothing of it.
Yeah. So then I decided to come over here for two reasons, because that's Stillwell, but, you know, then there's county. And like I say, I hadn't talked to Jason since I brought him a flat of strawberries, you know, but I wanted to figure out, what do you plan on doing about it?
About what?
If she imposes a mask mandate.
Well, I haven't heard anything of it, so we'll cross that bridge when it comes to it, but as far as I know, I haven't heard anything of that.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's something I'd have to talk with them about, see if they're actually going to do it.
Well, the lady I spoke with indicated that she didn't think that Jason Ritchie was going to get involved in it, but that still leaves the police department that can.
Yeah.
And so I need to get an injunction against the mayor, but I can't get into the courthouse because of one of your guys. So now we've got this weird thing to where Jason's kind of going, I'm not feeling it. I'm probably not going to get involved in this mask thing, but it's one of your guys that's blocking me from getting the... I can't even go register to vote or get the documents for the court filings because one of your guys is sitting there.
So what's your huge issue with not wearing a mask in the courthouse where they had somebody test positive for the coronavirus?
Yeah, real simple. It doesn't do anything.
Just curious.
Yeah, because it doesn't do anything. And here's what I'm really concerned about. When you put in place a mask wearing requirement, here's the real problem, okay? Since it doesn't work, and I promise you that does not work. Listen, I told you I brought him strawberries. I would spray chemicals. I mean, you have to. Miticides, insecticides, fungicides and stuff. I promise you, you wouldn't wear that mask to go spray pesticides on my strawberry crop. There's no way in hell you would do it. It's not going to work. The things that you are supposedly filtering out are so microscopic, it doesn't work. But here's what I'm really concerned about. Aside from the fact that you have a tyrannical mayor who's saying, hey, you better do this or else, and she's telling us to do something that doesn't work. What happens when you have elderly folks? What happens if you have truly at-risk individuals with other health complications? And they go, oh, well, the mayor said to wear a mask, and the Walmart employees wear a mask. So then they are lured into a false sense of security. They detrimentally rely on the thought of, I put one of those blue rectangles over my face. So now the problem is they go out in public and they take risks that they would not have or should not have, but because they think that they're being protected and they're not.
Okay, what do you need from me? What can I help you with? Just the courthouse?
Yeah, can you help me get past Eubanks? Because he's one of your guys, but he's threatening me that I can't even go register to vote or get paperwork.
So you're just needing the injunction, you said, and register to vote?
Yeah. That's all I need, but I'm afraid that that dude is going to arrest me, so I decided instead of causing a conflict or confrontation, I would come here, try to talk to Jason, or I appreciate the opportunity to talk to you.
Jason's not here, right?
Right, and I appreciate the opportunity to talk to you to figure out, is that really what we want? Because, I mean, I can go get a whole crew of people. I can go get 50 or 100 people. We'll all go register to vote, and then you'll be arresting all of us. But, I mean, is that where we want this thing to go?
I'll call over to the courthouse and have them take care of you, okay? I'll have somebody come down and talk to you. Maybe they can do it outside, because I don't agree with a bunch of people going to the courthouse. You know, they don't need to be. So he probably doesn't know what you're there for. Did you tell him everything?
Yeah, absolutely. I've got it on film.
Because I don't know if their offices are even open. I don't know what offices are open over there that you need to get to. Well, but I'll call and find out.
You got to be able to register to vote.
Right.
Oh, it's right up there, bro. See that on your light? I mean, on your camera.
Yeah.
But those aren't the red ones. It's the red ones I can't stand. These guys aren't that bad. But yeah.
I'll have somebody come down at least talk to you and get you a little bit more information than that.
Yeah, I mean, you got, or if you want, or if you want to go with me.
I mean, I've got other stuff I've got to get done right now. That's why I've got to go.
Okay.
I'll make a phone call over there and have somebody get you taken care of, right? So you can get, because I mean, you got to be able to do your business.
I've got to be able to register to vote, and if the mayor is talking about imposing this restriction at 8 p.m. tonight, I don't have many hours left in the day. I have to go file an emergency injunction against that right now. Right now. And I'm trying to avoid conflict.
Right.
And I think Eubanks is just not the brightest bulb, you know, and he's just doing what he's told. You know, I literally asked him the same question, and I asked Chad Smith, and Chad said, well, obviously a 3-inch wide net is not going to catch 1-inch fish. I asked your deputy, Eubanks, I said, hey, let me ask you a question. Can a net with 3-inch wide holes trap a fish that's 1 inch in diameter? And he said, that is irrelevant. I caught it on tape. It's going on YouTube. It's going on Facebook. I caught it on tape. It's sad. It really is sad. No, that's not irrelevant. That's the most relevant thing of all. So, but yeah. So tell me what you want me to do. You want me to go back to the courthouse?
I'll make a phone call and have somebody come down and take care of you.
Okay.
So you can get your business done that you need to get done.
Okay, and you're going to take care of Eubanks. You're going to make sure that he knows.
Yeah, I'll call him and let him know you're coming back over.
Okay. All right. You're awesome. I appreciate you. I'm going to stop this and shake your hand.